Dear students, let us start the discussion on today's newspaper, that is 13th December 2017. The first article, Jallikattu issue for constitutional bench. You know that Jallikattu is an animal taming sport played and popular in Tamil Nadu, Maharashtra. In this case, is Jallikattu to be seen as a cultural right under Article 29(1) of the Constitution, and does it need to be seen as violation of Cruelty to Animals Act? So if it gets the constitutional protection under Article 29(1) of the Constitution, Jallikattu can be continued. On the other hand, animal rights activists argue that the sport is a violation of animal rights. So a set of animal rights are also mentioned in this article. Please go through them. So one more point which is important mentioned over here is the cultural right under Article 29 of the Constitution is also available to the majority of the people. It is not just a minority right. And after this, let's get into the editorial page. Human rights and Indian values. This article was written in a haphazard manner. Let's try to reformulate this article to our understanding. So Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, he spoke about constitutional morality. So there is something called societal morality and then constitutional morality. Now casteism today is living in country based on the social morality, but constitutional morality abolishes the same. So the governance of the entire country shall be based on constitutional morality, and it was given primacy. So to what extent the efficacy of the government is proven to uphold the constitutional morality defends the rights of the minorities, defends the rights of the women. So in India, ineffective governance is said to be a major reason for ongoing hate crimes. So here, constitutional morality also has to be seen from the sensitivity of the establishment. So if the state and its establishment is not sensitive to minorities, Dalits and women, the same state machinery or apparatus can be used to maintain status quo. And the status quo is meant to protect the societal morality. So that's why creation of a sensitive machinery, a representative and sensitive state machinery, is essential to promote the constitutional morality. That is one dimension of the article. And the next is, human rights are growing. And human rights are also seen as an approach towards the development today. They are meant to promote social, economic and educational rights of the citizens too. So these are popularly called as substantive rights, which are there as part of our DPSP. These substantive rights are getting protected in the country because of the constitutional morality and also the democratic form of government, not just due to inegalitarian or unequal societal values. Third popular saying is, in Indian system, we have a civilizational strength, and protection of the human rights in India is due to this civilizational strength. But from the past, if we observe, the caste distinctions, discriminations, gender deprivations, all these are also part of the civilization itself. So glorifying the civilization as a way forward to protect the rights of the citizens is a kind of reductionist approach. So in this context, what my point here is, in India, if human rights have to be protected, the governance, sensitivity of the establishment, and then changing the societal values and norms, redistribution of the power in the state and in the society are primary prerequisites. These are the points you need to understand in this article. Information at the court's discretion. So it is about Right to Information Act. You know that as per Right to Information Act, every public authority, as per section 2H of RTI Act, every public authority shall disclose the information or shall provide for the information requested within 30 days. And no grounds need to be stated for that request of our information. But With regard to the information related to Supreme Court, separate administrative rules exist. These administrative rules say that the information shall be asked in good intention and reasons have to be stated. There is no timeline or penalties if the information is not been provided in time. So in this context, Supreme Court Registrar insists that information from the court can only be accessed through administrative rules, not from the Right to Information Act. The same is also upheld by the High Court, Delhi High Court recently. So this kind of behavior from the higher judiciary in India is an invitation for opaqueness in administration. This is the point which this author tries to make. And then starting over, it is about Rahul Gandhi becoming the president of Congress. Remember that internal democracy of a political party is very much important to maintain longevity and vibrancy in its functioning. So in this context, Rahul Gandhi's election is more said to be a selection, and the revolving of the Congress ethos and values around one single family is one thing which has been criticized. But more, we don't need to see this article in depth. So the charismatic lineage politics is one thing which is often criticized as antagonistic to democratic functioning and lack of internal democracy of political parties. Unedifying campaign, it is about Gujarat election campaign. So the election rhetoric in India is more filled with allegations and counter allegations rather than substantive debate. So in this context, the values debates or the debate shall be filled with choices to the people. So here you need to remember Yogendra Yadav's statement. In Indian elections, the voters never gets a choice of ideas. They only get the choice of candidates. So that's what is the point we need to remember. A dialogue without a purpose is meaningless. What does this mean? Let me put it this way. Omar Abdullah, what he says is, the appointment of Dineshwar Sharma will not lead to any conclusive results for the reason that there is no clear mandate was given to him from the central government. So this is more or less an appeasement technique and a purposeless action. And second, Article 370 was discussed. It was a bargain given to the Kashmiris by Jawaharlal Nehru. So, dilution of Article 370 is the major reason for elimination of Kashmiris from Indian state. So, greater autonomy can win the loyalties of Kashmiris to India. And second, a permanent solution to Kashmir can only come from a dialogue on two fronts, an external front and an internal front. So in this context, a dialogue on external front and any solution shall not make anyone a winner and a loser. So having a solution that makes no one victorious and no one a loser, that is going to provide a substantive and standing solution. And the third thing is growing militancy and changing status of Kashmiri militancy and comparing it with Syria and Iraq is something an overstretched statement. And finally, according to him, the Kashmiri culture, Kashmiriyat, Vajpayee has spoken about Insaniyat, Jamhuriyat and Kashmiriyat. That is what is the way forward for a solution. This is about Mr. Omar Abdullah's interview. Please go through this interview for Kashmiri problem understanding of it. So let's get into the news page. Special courts to try politicians. You know that recently the Supreme Court in a response to bill has asked the central government on establishing the special courts to try politicians facing various kinds of criminal charges. So in this context, the central government has responded in a positive way. And then, Perari Valavan case. So remember this. After 26 years of imprisonment, one of the person accused in Rajiv Gandhi's murder case is going to get a respite. So most of the police agencies, investigative agencies, in an enthusiasm to solve a case, tries to change the confession statements to their advantage. So in the process, many of the innocents without criminal intention gets affected. So one of the CBI officer has come into open and he started giving the truth in this particular case. Let us see how it gets solved. And then let's go to the next page. Role of CBI takes center stage at Malya hearing. The CBI and investigating agencies in India, these are often criticized as caged parrots. In this context, the Second Administrative Reforms Commission, especially with regard to state level police reform, stated that the investigation departments have to be separated from law and order departments. So the investigation becomes a specialized exercise then. India-Australia call for open Asia-Pacific zone. So 2+2 dialogue is very much becoming popular in India and Australia case. These are the dialogue at the level of foreign and defense secretaries. So in this open and free Pacific zone, Asia Pacific zone, with freedom for overflight is being emphasized. You know, this is in the context of the South China Sea this statement is made. And in the final page, I gave you the notes that will be visible to you at laix.in/CivilsPrep. You can download the notes from there. Thank you very much and all the best.